And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here about to start the show on episode 135 of the Anime Podcast. It's a stack show for tonight. We have the founders of Studio Maho and the VP to join us for tonight. It's going to be a great show, a lot of questions, and just a good interaction with the show and everyone else. So come in, ask your questions, and let's just have a good time, most importantly. Other than that, let's see our beautiful faces. And welcome, anime fans. How you guys doing? Right here's your host, Legendary Vash, and down below we have the two co-hosts, Kendall X Anime, and down below is JB Exclusives from the C4S. And I'm gonna let them introduce themselves since it's the first time here without the intro, without Sam the manga man. So we got Pat, and we got Yin, and we got Ken from Studio Maho. Pat, the floor is yours. Who are you? And explain yourself.
Whoa, what's poppin', everybody? It's your boy Pat, aka the Honorable Gumbo, aka the Gumbo Goon. Y'all shit again back here with my family over here in anime lately, holding it down like it's heavy. Can't wait to get into it. It's been too long, so I'm gonna pass the mic on to Yende so we can get this show cracking.
Yes, sir. Yende Hall here.
AKA
Yin
Obama.
Designs.
Keep going.
Yeah. Okay. AKA Kokujin Creates. I'm the co-founder of Studio Maho, the artist, the other creator, the other writer.
You ain't the other UD boy, UD writer. Yeah.
I mean, you write too, so I
be writing too. We all be writing.
So
Yeah, team. Yeah, co-write. Yeah, work together.
He just like me.
For real, he just like me for real.
Ken and you.
Oh yeah, it's your boy Matt Cannon, aka Kenpachi Cannon, VP, Molly Studio Maho, editor in chief, writer. I'm the man behind the scenes with everything. You like for real.
Awesome. That's great to hear. So at first, let's start it off slow. Let's start it off chill. How has everyone been? How's the week? How we all doing? It's been a long week. Things been going on. So how's everyone feeling?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good.
For me, man, it's been a long week. As meetings all week plus working. I looked at my leg day that my trainer has for me, and I'm like, oh, you must not want me to walk tomorrow. All right, okay, all right. Well, you gotta do leg day. You can't skip that. But now, aside from that, man, it has been nothing short of productive. And a busy week is a good week for me because I like being on the go. If I'm busy, I'm accomplishing something, and that's what I need for my mental health.
Yeah, and you?
Yeah, week's been pretty good so far. Trying to. Well, I just did fix my sleep schedule. My sleep schedule's been backwards for the last 3 to 4 days. So I had some late streams, and that didn't help. So yeah, but it's been good so far. Like Pat said, we got some meetings this week. We being productive. So can't complain.
Yeah, like I said, it's been.
What was that, Ken?
I was just saying it's been busy week, big week. We had meetings and stuff. It was all good.
That's good. Of here myself, I just did a electrical engineering, like the most basic stuff. It was dope to experience. To learn how to wire stuff and how to solder. For a guy that's not very good at being gentle and very steady, no matter how I say that, it sounds in both ways, however you want to put it. That's not my best expertise, and with big hands and big fingers to put small things into smaller things, I'm not very good at. So to experience that and to not give up, that's the one thing I'm very proud of. I fail Monday and Tuesday. I fuck up on the one thing I was doing. I mess up, and I was getting mad. I was like, shit, I feel like a failure. Like, I want to give up. I was like, nah. Let me ask my mentor, like, yo, can I have another one? I feel like I could do better on the next one. I feel like I could have a mission accomplished. And it worked. I felt more calm. I was stressed out. Odious out, like, fuck this shit. But I came today to work. I came here and I did it within 5 hours instead of doing it within 2 work shifts. I did it within 1 work shift and I did it within 5 hours. But it's try and error. And the one thing I'm happy, yes, I got it done. But the most important thing, I did not give up, and that's the one thing I'm very happy about.
That's beautiful, bro. Get down, but don't stay down.
James, how about you? How you been?
Yeah, been good, man. Just grinding away, honestly. Like putting some more work into the website. Just bought a new mic. Mia and I are about to start this new podcast that I've been wanting to work on for a really long time now. So putting in more work, a lot more work. So like Villains has been doing, I'm happy with where Villains is right now. I'm making some changes to the review structure. We're going to be doing some things different going forward. This Friday, it's going to be all news. With all the Batgirl news, everything going on with Warner Discovery. It's going to be a fun show. But yeah, I'm excited for some new projects that I'm working on, so doing good.
I cannot wait for the Friday show. A lot of people are going to rant, scream, ask Warner Brothers what the fuck y'all doing. I can't wait for the discussion. It's like, yo, who's really in charge of this? So I just can't wait for all that type of discussion to happen. And how about you, Kendall? Last man, but the best for last. How you doing?
This is gonna be a fun stream with you saying Ken over and over again. But I've been pretty good, man. I'm pretty content with just everything that's been going on. Me and the Conquer Movement team have been moving through the interviews. We're hoping to drop another one in the morning. Although I am trying to premiere and schedule it right now, and the quality looks like it dipped for some reason, so I'm slightly panicking. But besides that, everything's been good. If everyone hasn't had a chance to check out our Zeno Robinson interview, that's been well received by, I think, pretty much a good majority of people. Will love to get the world's eyes on it, because I think, especially for us as content creators and just anyone in general, it was just like a really necessary conversation, especially to hear from the perspective of somebody that is admired in the light that Zeno is admired in. So if you haven't checked that out, check it out. Otherwise, we here for Pat and the team. We here for Yin and the team. We here for Ken and the team. We here for Studio Maho. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
With that being said, that's a beautiful transition. Pat, Yin, we haven't had you guys in 5 months, so I know a lot has happened. You guys have said it in the first 5-10 minutes of the show already. You guys have a lot of meetings, a lot of things have been working behind the scenes. You guys have been improving a lot. So the floor is yours. You know, tell us and set the stage. What has been going on the past 5 months? What has been improving? You know, what new phone calls, what new a lot of connections they guys have been making. You know, let us know.
You know, the beauty about phone calls and connections is sometimes we got to talk about them when the camera not rolling.
Right.
Yeah, you can't talk about all of them, but you know, we got you. For the last 12 months though, because I mean, I don't think people realize, like, we at Studio Maho just turned a year old, July 3rd. Like, you know, we just made a year.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats on that.
Thank you. From that year, you know, we transitioned from Team God Punch to Studio Maho. It's really been trying to lay the foundation and kind of discover what it takes to be a true animation studio. And then again, you know, with that, it's going back to the boring stuff, taking care of the business, the legalities, things of that nature, you know, trademarks, copyrights, all kind of stuff. But it definitely made us better businessmen. I will say that. You know, like, in the business of trying to start a corporation, you know, and so, you know, those are the things that you got to learn, even if you don't like them. But along that way, it was really refreshing because we really had the opportunity to expand the team and really fill in, you know, a lot of needs, you know, in areas to really help Maho become, you know, a well-oiled machine and to really just kind of be self-sufficient. And so it's been a bumpy road, but, you know, 'tis the life of a creator. But I will say that I have no regrets, and I've enjoyed these last 12 months every step of the way. And I'm even more excited about the future.
Yeah, it's from where we started to where we're at now is like
where we started to where
ridiculous, honestly. I keep telling Pat I'm gonna get us a whiteboard.
You gonna do a timeline
and do a timeline of everything we've accomplished, so you can like actually see it in in a visual format. Because just thinking about it and like talking about it is already like it sounds great, but then like if you really plot it out the points, like okay, we accomplished this, then we accomplished this, and then like a few months later, like we started here and we're all the way over here. Like it's crazy, and really just a year. So, like I don't think we really thought that, when we first got the whole like Studio Maho idea, that we would be hitting the ground running this fast. Like, I think it was just an idea. And then when Blade Titans came out, it was kind of like, okay, well, now we're Studio Maho because we have more than one series, right?
Yeah.
And then not even like, how long was it before we hired Lamar, and then like we had Noah right after that?
It was a couple months because, we started holding interviews for the executive producer positions. And,
right.
Because that was literally last time you guys were here. That was my first show or something. You guys came on and you guys were looking for that role, and that was the debut of like, hey, we're transitioning into the animation studio side of everything. So
we got serious, about becoming an animation studio, and that was like the first step. It was like, I'm spread thin with Maho, and Yende spread thin with Maho. So it's like, in order to be a three-headed monster, truly, like we needed somebody to kind of like man that side of things, and kind of take the helm. And once we found that guy, it's like, all right, like we can get the ball rolling. And that's when we were able to get out the animated logo, and that was kind of like when it became real.
Fire.
Exactly. Yeah.
Agreed. Fire is beautiful. I'm very proud of you guys.
Shout out to Noah. But yeah.
Yes. They did
great
so on that.
They don't like boast and brag about their stuff. Like that is fire. Like if it was me, if I did that, I'd be, oh yeah, this is me. I'd be all in everybody's face. I did this.
That's very humble.
To be like, yeah, you have to go up to them like, no man, you did this. Like, go tell them about yourself.
Yeah.
How does it feel like, not that it feels, as you said, that it's more official now, like now that you have the animated logo, like it feels more that you're closer to where you want to be, but not where you actually want to be yet? Like, how does that feel that it's just becoming more surreal? Like Yin said, that with you guys' timeline, it's just been so much that's been going on over the past years, but not that it just feels that you guys have actually been moving forward. How does that feel?
I feel like we've always been moving forward. Like I would randomly tweet it, I would randomly say we're always working. But I mean, the hard thing about being a content creator that a lot of people don't get is that people don't always get to see the work that you put in, because not everything is there to be seen. Exactly. Like people don't know the behind the scenes work that it takes to actually pursue your dreams and to do this thing. All they see is they see the content you put out. They don't see what goes into actually getting that content ready, And so now we've gotten to the point where it's like, all right, well, we can consistently drop things for people to see now. So that feels great, but we were always working. It just feels good now that people can see the fruit of your labor.
Right.
That's the beauty of it, and it's beautiful when people appreciate it as well. Like Ken was saying, like with Noah and Lamar, they aren't really, cocky about some of the things that they do. Even if they were, I don't have a problem with that. Gas yourself up, but we have to let them know, like, hey, bro, like you did this, and we appreciate you. Like sometimes, like my love language is words of affirmation, so I'm always let you know how I feel. So it's just letting you know, like, hey, thank.
Uh-oh.
Hey Pat, you froze? You there?
Connection
error?
Yeah, Houston Wi-Fi.
Well, until we get Pat back, Yen, would you want to continue?
Yeah, I mean, like Pat was saying, when the animated logo came out, that was kind of like, yeah, like, you know, it's tangible. It feels like we can actually call ourselves an animation studio, because me and Pat had conversations before about when we started that we were like, okay, we're kind of still in the transition phase. We call ourselves an animation studio, but we have no animation. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like, are we really an animation studio yet? Now we can officially say, you know, yes, we are an animation studio. And even like we have some stuff we can't even talk about, you know. Yeah. One thing that we can talk about,
if you want to tease or drop
to an
some
extent,
little leaks, it's fine.
Yeah, one thing that we can talk about is that we are working on getting some animation created in-house by our animators, that is God Punch related, kind of, you know, to get something out there, you know, to show y'all, hey, you know, this is what the studio is capable of. And we can also use it, you know, to pitch and stuff like that. So, yeah, we'll have more to say on that when we get a little bit closer to announcing some things regarding that. But, yeah, we are working on that. And then we have something else that we can't even talk about that kind of just dropped out of nowhere. And it turned into basically a job. So,
all the good stuff we got to talk about off camera.
Exactly. It's like we can get into more detail off camera. We can't talk about the.
We'll definitely know that.
Camera. But
it's like always we have.
Yes, as always. So, but yeah, the animation studio by itself has grown like exponentially as far as progress wise. It's member wise, it's still the same team.
For 17.
Yeah, we haven't added anybody else yet because we want to allow the people we already have to kind of grow themselves and build a synergy between them. So before we add anybody else and kind of, you know, mix it up. So
establishing a work culture.
Exactly.
Speaking of you know, your work culture and your team and your environment. I've told you guys this several times online, but again, I really appreciate the way you guys present your team outwards to the public. I think that's so important in various aspects, especially when you're going out to these conventions, which we'll get into a little bit. But different to last time that you guys were here, we've got Ken. So Ken, can you tell us a little bit more about like the way that you contribute or the way that you feel that you are like the representative of the things? We was getting a little bit of the backstory behind the scenes, but you know, I think the people on looking are also like, you know, yeah, Ken. I don't know about y'all. I've been seeing Ken on the timeline. You know, I'm just like, yeah. I saw that man. That man got Kenpachi in his name. I want to know what's going on with him.
Yeah,
man.
No. Go ahead. But yeah, with me, we part of the writing team, editing. So like when Patrick sends up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, he sends me a chapter he's written. I look over it, half sleep, man. We just go back and forth. Got a good, you know, repertoire of us writing, and a lot of times, we're just a team, a family. So I'm part of the writing. We have Duke. Y'all probably seen him too. Duke and Terrence, the writing team. We just, and like they said, Lamar and Noah. And then we have a whole bunch of, you know, Daphne. She's the PR. We represent Vanity, East Coast representative. Tech people, CJ, Dez. And then, I don't know. Can I say about the fashion?
You know your team has grown a lot when you have to like think about who all is on the team.
Yeah,
that's very good.
Right? Because I'd be like, I don't know how many times I've been told Pat, like, do we really have, how many people do we have on our team? Like,
it's 17.
It's 17 now. It's
Wow,
17
great.
now.
That's what's up, man.
That's
started
props.
with what, 5?
No, we started with 4.
Or 4. There's 4 of us.
Yeah. And then we just grew from there. I remember when we first went to Anime NYC in New York. I think that was like
that was when we got like 7 of us. I want to say, that first year, 2019, we came together like the Avengers.
Yeah.
And you know, Age of Ultron. You know, that was like Dreamcon right there. You put it all together. You know.
And then,
yeah.
But like I said, I help mostly with the writing and a little behind the scenes stuff that, you know, we can't really talk about. But There's no big things coming. Big things coming.
Yes.
Nice.
But,
So one of my questions that I had, if you don't mind me sticking a question in there for you guys,
yeah, of course.
is like, can you guys to any extent, not super detailed or anything, the in regards to like, uh, so I understand the dynamic of who is writing which series, but what you can talking about just like writing and editing and stuff, is there a process for storyboarding that you guys feel that is probably unique to the way that you guys do things? Is that something that you guys could kind of talk about or think about?
Typically, storyboarding is whenever me and Yin they storyboard, it is we gonna be up for a while. So pretty much like me and Yin they will get on the phone, and we'll pull up, the Google Doc, with the chapters that I've written, and we'll probably try and do like 1 or 2 chapters, but like he'll do it he'll be sharing, he'll like share, whatever he storyboards with me, pretty much while I talk to him and keep him up. But it's like another way for us to edit and kind of get like, I guess, an idea of a page count. When we did the first chapter, it's like, all right, we're looking at this many pages, but then like when we started drawing it, I was like, well, actually, we looking at about 5 to 6 more. And although it might not seem like much, when he the only artist that's drawing, shading, inking, that's actually quite a bit, So this way, it's better for us as far as like planning wise. And then on top of that, like we're also trying to prepare for the first full volume, like hardback volume, like a traditional manga. And so that's easier on me and the writing team as well, because it's giving us an idea of like how many pages we're looking at, just in case like we get we decide to reach out to a publisher and they ask, because like once you start trying to get into the industry, they ask all those little nitpicky things, and it's just great to know that. But the process of storyboarding, it's tedious, but it's cool to kind of see it come to life, just in a smaller way before he really, does the detail for it.
Yeah, because I used to not really storyboard. I know that's like a sin, right? To not storyboard. But I used
dog in the art, boy.
Yeah. basically. So what I used to do was I would go over the script with Patrick, like he said. I would basically I'd be editing basically in my head, but I would tell him like, okay, this is where you need to cut this page. We need to put these panels on the next page. And that's why we would end up adding pages, is because I'm creating the flow in my head as I'm reading it. And then I would just immediately translate that to the sketch instead of, and basically skip the storyboarding, like actually like create a real storyboard. It'd be storyboarding in my head and not have it on paper. So, but lately I have been doing some storyboarding. I did a little bit for chapter 4 that we were working on. Chapter 4 ended up being way longer than, what was the original page count for chapter 4? Wasn't it like 26 or something like that?
26.
Yeah, it was like 26.
Yeah. So that chapter is now 40 pages long.
Wow.
So basically,
that's not bad.
Well, okay. So to be
I like
fair,
this. It's fine. The more the merrier.
Yeah. So to be fair, we went over the chapter and we applied a lot of the things that we learned.
Yeah.
When we met with somebody that we can't talk about, who gave us some insight, basically, from Viz. So as far as like, here's some tips to really get that authenticity of manga and the flow of how the artwork should flow throughout and all that kind of stuff. So we applied that to chapter 4, and doing that made us realize like, okay, we really we need to let the content breathe a little bit. Like we have a lot of dialogue, a lot of descriptions. We need to let the artwork kind of have its own space too on the page, because sometimes we try to put so many panels on a page that there's just a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, when you read a manga, you notice that some pages may only have 2 panels on them. And it's just because they want to let the artwork tell its own story as well. So
agreed.
When you have a lot of dialogue, you end up like Togashi sometimes, where it's 90% dialogue and 10% art on the page.
Yep.
And that's no shade to Togashi, but you know how he writes sometimes. So
I wouldn't know.
I was gonna say that's what Fawn Lau told us as well. She's the executive not the
Editor-in-chief.
she's the editor-in-chief, I'm sorry, of Viz
Yeah.
Media. You know, she really schooled both of us and me, you know, just kind of like, okay, you know, this is what separates Japanese manga from American comics, you know, and so it's trying to, you know, make sure that we write and illustrate more in line with the former versus the latter, since we're doing a manga inspired series. So that's kind of why like the chapter is so long, because, you know, we were told be a mangaka, don't cosplay as one, you know.
That's well
So
said.
yeah, that's what we were told verbatim.
Nasty.
We really got our feelings hurt on that phone call.
They spared, like,
but
spared
It was
no
needed
feelings,
though.
like,
It was
yeah,
good.
we needed it. Yeah,
It was
Exactly.
like his character development, you know.
I'm
Mhm.
glad that you guys saw the positive out of it, because most people will feel hurt like for a week and feel like, damn, I felt like girls just
Yeah.
schooled us. But I love how you guys saw the positive out of it and took the outcome of what you guys had from that conversation and learn from them, because most people will take some time to learn from what they heard in that phone call.
Yeah, like I think that for us, that
we
was
got it out the mud.
yeah, that was really when that was really when Maho went quiet after Anime NYC. And the reason that we did that, I'm not gonna say we kind of good at Maho, but it was like, okay, we have to work on the foundation of what it means to actually do a manga or manga inspired series. You know, I personally I didn't want to release anything, and I think Yende was on the same page as well. But we were just like, all right, like let's go back, see what we've done, and see what we can fix. So like when we drop like the volume, like you're
1
about
through
to see
3
like
are gonna be
yeah, like the goal is to
different.
make it feel like more, you know, like an actual manga.
That's great.
But I mean, I've went back and I've redone chapter 1. I scrapped every single God Punch chapter I wrote. I had written like 50 plus chapters. I scrapped every single one. I was like, okay, I could be better.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, you sent us, I think, up to chapter 16. I believe we still have in the email.
I had like 54 chapters.
Yeah, and you sent us a bit like chunk that you already felt that you could share with us. And I believe you sent us at least 8 chapters or at least 16 or so. And I believe it was something like long ago. I can't wait to see years from now where chapter 8 and where chapter 16 is, and then compared to what we have the old version of, and be like, wow, that has a huge difference.
Yeah, the goal, honestly, we say we want to try and get the volume out by my birthday, huh?
yeah, which will be February next year.
We want to try and get the volume out for February.
Hey, my birthday in February too. I'll take all of those birthday blessings.
Hey, we got you.
I have my anniversary birthday in February, so
everybody got something going on.
Okay, yeah.
February, good money.
You know,
James,
my cousin's sister friend got married in February.
Mia's birthday is in
Yeah.
There you go.
Look at that. It just works out perfectly.
But Ken, real quick, I did have a question for you. What's the best part about working with Pat and Yin? Like, what about them motivates you to want to be a part of this team and be a part of the future of Studio Maho?
Their ambition, man. They really get after it, which is crazy because they're like total opposites. You got Yin and Yang right there. Yin is calm, level-headed, you know, real, I guess, politician, you know, wise, and then you have Gumball Group right there. They're the complete opposite. But they work perfect together, and it's a refreshing, you know, experience because, you know, like I said, I've been there from the start, from when it was just Patrick's, you know, idea of God Punch, and you know him coming to me, hey cousin, I got this, I want to write, you know, I have a passion, and we've been doing that since we were young. Like I remember him coming over to my house, and we'll do like One Piece fan fiction off the top of our head together, and just that, you know, that passion right there that he's always had, he puts it behind, you know, Maho. And he gets tunnel vision sometimes, so I got to, you know, keep him on track. But and he is the same way. Like he ends up to 4 a.m. drawing. You know, he has commissions, put commissions off to go draw and stuff. So it's really the passion and the ambition, and you know that makes you want to follow them. Like run through a brick wall for them because you know, like they gonna be right behind you or right in front of you if you do it. And that's like that right there is one of the main reasons why I'm still here. You know, the dream is you see the vision, the passion. You know, like I said, we really got it out the mud, and it just now seeing like the fruits of our labor over time and see where it can go eventually. Why would I be anywhere else?
Ken, I would like to add. I would like to add with that question as well, because you you've been Pat. You've been with Pat since the beginning. I think Pat since 2015, right? Of when you had that idea and everything else. How has it been to see the growth of 2015 to where he is now? Like, because you said that they're passionate, he's driven, and everything, but of where, where's your shoe? Like, how is it from your perspective, seeing all this growth from 2015 to now 2022? Like, how has that
Oh,
been? Like, with the whole perspective overall?
it's been surreal because like it was some points where like you really wanted to like give up or like you didn't think we would be where we at now. So like seeing it and actually like living through it and seeing it from the very first picture again they drew the guy cover, the guy punch cover. And like basically me and Patrick had to beg him to come along at first. I don't forgive you for that either yet. But like and so, you know, looking for artists and then finding in and then, you know, meeting you sometimes I feel like I'm dreaming a little bit because like who would know, you know, a year into it, we have boosted Anime NYC, Dreamcon, selling stuff. Like I really can't believe it sometimes, and it's seeing the growth from where we was slinging copies out the back of our trunk to establishing booths, on podcasts such as yours. Uh, Man, it's surreal, it's unbelievable, but it's only the beginning, and we're gonna keep going and keep getting bigger and better.
That's great. Um, I have one more question about this idea of how you and him are also family. I know,
Mhm.
is it how's that work environment? Like, you work with friends, it's hard sometimes because you have friends, but then when you add that extra layer when you're family, is it hard sometimes to communicate, to feel like or you guys work together, being bossed around, stuff like that? Like, how is that communication relationship? You're trying to build this brand.
And it's just that's a good thing, but with him being my cousin, I kind of know him. So a lot of stuff, like if he's irritated about something, I kind of already know why. And you have to understand, he's the leader, the founder, the CEO. So yes, that's my cousin and all, but at the end of the day, like it's Studio Maho is his brand. So you have to respect that, and vice versa. Like if I can't respect his decisions, or the way he run about his business, family or not, I just wouldn't be about it. And I think that's just kind of how we was raised. Like I said, I know him like the back of my hand. So and he knows the same way. So if some like bother him about it, I'm pretty sure he comes running telling me and we talk about it.
That's
And
good.
ultimately it's his decision at the end. But like I said, it's kind of I kind of look at it like when when Zoro, I don't know if I'm spoiling this for anybody, but when Zoro came to Luffy about Usopp, and like Luffy had to make a decision about Usopp, in a crew with the going Mary. And so if you make decisions that I can't respect it, I'm like Zoro, like, are you my captain really? So and like I
Respect.
said, that's all it really is. Over the years, you know build that repertoire, and like I said, we go hand in hand. Like I said, a lot of times he know what I'm gonna say before he says, and I it's the same. I know what he's gonna say.
That's great. And plus, nice reference to Zoro. That's a goal right there. So it just works
That's
well.
my go-to. That's my go-to.
James Kendall has any other questions?
Yeah,
All right.
Kendall, if you got one, go ahead.
Let's move on.
Cool.
I was gonna ask, since Pat and Yin, you guys brought up about con, Dreamcon, everything else. How did it feel, Pat, you not being part of Dreamcon this year, and you said that your team was there, and then how did it feel overall? And you said something behind the scenes that you guys made the most money you guys ever have. How does that feel, not being part, but also knowing that your team, did so well without you?
It's beautiful. Just knowing that Maho is self-sufficient. Like it doesn't need me to function now. Like I don't have to be there. I will say, like when they went to Dreamcon, without me, of course it was a trust exercise because it was the first time, that they ever went to a convention without me. But when I heard like all the good news and like how we were being received and like the connections we were making and how we were killing it at the booth, it was like it was beautiful. Like if I gotta equate it to because we love equating shit to One Piece. If we gotta do it, it was like when Luffy let Sanji take the Sunny to Zou while he stayed at Dressrosa to finish off Dofi. Like that was what it was like. It was like, okay, like you got it, well y'all got it, so just knowing that like, I could trust y'all, to drive the boat and not crash it, like it makes me sleep at night. But it's also a testament to what we've built as a company, because now it doesn't need me to function. Maho is bigger than all of us, and that's what I wanted. I was gonna hit you with that quote, but like I said, you ain't watching Hunter x Hunter,
It's okay. Go ahead and drop the quote.
You want to say the quote? I'm not gonna remember.
He never gonna catch it.
I'm not gonna remember until like 5 more months. I'll get to it. I told you, give me 5 months. I will watch Hunter by then. 5 months. I'll watch it at least more than half.
Do it for the listeners too. They gonna catch it.
They catch it.
Look,
cool.
If you want to say it, I'll put the headphones out while you say it, so I don't get spoiled.
You can't get spoiled on something you're never gonna watch. It's fine.
Have faith. Hey, Pat just said that he has faith in his team. Have faith in me. Have faith
in our team.
I got the quote pulled up. So this was how I felt like watching them in Maho. All right. The quote said, "I'm the head and you are the legs of the spider. Natural law dictates that the legs blindly follow the head. However, this simply represents a chain of command. It doesn't apply to my life or death. If I happen to die, one of you can replace me, and there may come a time when a leg has more importance than the head. Make the right call. My orders are top priority. However, I am not your top priority. Our goal is to not keep an individual alive, but the spider."
Can't lie, dope line.
Polo.
Even though I don't know who said it, but dope line. Dope line.
Maybe one day you'll get there.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
We'll appreciate it.
Yeah, when you get to the best arc of one of the greatest series of all time, it'll all make sense eventually.
Hey, it's just like our boy Luffy has said that he'll one day find the One Piece. You guys gotta believe that
One day you'll
Vash
find
will.
Hunter x Hunter.
Yes, one day I will watch Hunter x Hunter. I will watch it. I will get to it, and I'll be
Hunter
like, I made
being
it.
Vash's One Piece is wild, actually.
So
That's
so 20 years because
That's
Luffy's
what
been
the-
looking for it for like
Yeah,
20 years.
Yeah.
Well, technically, right, it's been 23 years, but
He
for
didn't even hit. He didn't
But
even hit
look,
the grand
hold up,
line yet.
hold up,
Makes it
James.
worse for you.
But hold
bro.
up, James. But hold up. If you want to think in the actual storyline, he's been doing it for 2 years and
Well, we're
some
not
months.
talking about the actual story.
So technically, I said I was gonna watch it 2 years ago and
Gosh,
some months.
you're not even at
maybe-
the grand line yet. Like we need you to get somewhere. Can you get to Skypiea at least? Can you get somewhere?
I'll get there. But nice line, Pat. That is very powerful, very beautiful. Even though I don't know who said it, but still it's very strong, and I can resonate to what the quote is on its own. Any other thoughts on the question?
At the end of it, you can take that one.
Yep, I was gonna ask you, like, how did it feel to not have Pat on a con? Because I know, with Dreamcon is a big con. You have a lot of people there, a lot of influencers, voice actors, a lot of people they could connections. How did it feel having Pat? Were you nervous or you just had it down, your team and everything? How did it feel?
I wouldn't say I was nervous. I mean, it was definitely weird at first because it's like I was basically in charge. So I actually had to like fall into my role of co-founder to an extent. So that was an experience. But honestly, it was reminiscent of when the team left on Sunday at Anime NYC for the first time, and when we went 2019, and I was by myself for the remainder of the day of the con. I basically was there by myself, and then I went to an after party by myself. It was at OS in NYC, and I was just there making connections, like just talking to people, like spreading the brand as we did when we were at like Anime Fest and stuff. When we were together, I was basically just doing the same thing by myself. So the mission didn't change. It was just I didn't have Pat there, so I was having to be extra, sociable to the people that were there and make those connections myself. But also at Dreamcon, we had the whole team, so it wasn't just me. So we could delegate those roles to other people, and they were making connections on their own. So, I definitely wish he was there, and I'm he'll be there next year. But we did great, and I was very proud of how the team did as a whole. So
everything happens for a reason, man. Everything happens for a reason. I never walked past that table and there wasn't at least 2 different sets of conversations going on. That's real talk. Great. Like there was at least 2 different people was stopping and asking questions. People wanted to take pictures. I think I even walked past someone asking about cosplaying one of the characters. I'm just saying, it was a good time, and like Yin can attest to. We was running around. We was in and out of different hallways and spaces, and
yes,
like I said, it was a lot to see. But like I said, it's I'm really proud of you guys, and the way shout out to everybody. Even to the last day, even I'm packing up hours, everyone was still crowded around Maho's table. Passed by a couple of times. I seen Duke and Ken and everybody doing their thing over there. So it's like it was constantly this vibe of feeling like you could walk up to somebody and get that story, and it felt good about that. And I felt the same way too, because I was looking for you guys at Anime NYC, and I walk up and we had a dope conversation with Duke and them, and I was just like, it just was like that but bigger, right? It was just like there was more people, there was more energy, a lot of supporters, and it was this thing where it's like, we talked about it in like various spaces where it's like you got all of these other content creators and stuff that's like, dang, yeah, we've been hearing about you. So people is like really trying to walk up and catch this moment, catch that moment. So like I said, kudos to y'all. I was happy to steal. I caught Yin in the hallway and stole him for interview.
Yes. So yeah, it was a great experience. I'm very happy with how the con went. So
I'm satisfied with it too. Completely. Well, I'm sorry. No, you just want to say something?
No, go ahead. Finish up.
No, I was saying I'm completely satisfied with it too, man. Anime NYC was it was funny because like that was the first con that we ever had a booth at, and like man, you got thrown into the fire, like it was like that's one of the biggest cons in the nation. But you sink or swim, and we were able to carry that experience over to Anime Frontier, Dreamcon. We're gonna be at Anime Houston next weekend,
that is next weekend.
Yeah, next weekend we're going to Anime Houston. So what I'm saying, it's beautiful to see us going from trapping books out the backpack at convention, what I'm saying, to like actually having a booth, and what I'm saying, like being able to do this legally, and actually being acknowledged for the hard work that you put in.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's humbling, and I'm happy. I'm never more alive than when I'm doing work for mom.
I agree. I could understand from that. The same with me with Anime Ladies, so I could understand that 100%. James, you was gonna say something as well?
No, yeah, I feel that completely. But I just wanted to piggyback off of what Kendall was saying. like just to pitch it to all three of you guys, like what was one of your most memorable moments of like talking to people at Dreamcon or like at a different con, like someone who was maybe like following God Punch or following Blade Titans and came up to the booth, or someone that didn't know anything about it that was just really interested by seeing the art that you guys have up at the booth, like seeing people talking to you guys and seeing how passionate you are about it. So can you think of any like really cool memorable moments?
For me, Yende, after Anime NYC, didn't we have that conversation before Frontier?
Uh,
I think it was before we went to Frontier, if I'm not mistaken.
which one? Because we talk about a lot of stuff.
The one that we can't talk about.
Oh yeah.
All right, okay, I thought so. So, Anime NYC, like, it was fun, it was draining, and then we got that phone call.
I remember. I think, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of knocked the wind out of us, honestly. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that we weren't sad or discouraged. We pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps, but it was definitely a blow to us, And then we go to Anime Frontier in Fort Worth, and we got a booth, and it's a sister convention of Anime NYC, but it's a lot smaller and cheaper. So we're sitting at the booth, me and Yende, and we just cooling, businesses here and there. And these little kids, they come up to this black family, and like one of the little boys was like, "Hey, I read this before. Percy, my favorite character." And I'm like, "Yo, what?" And he's like, "Yo, like I read this like on Webtoon." And I'm like, "All right, okay." And so like his aunt, she had him, and like they bought a bunch of stuff at the table, and then like this family, they were cosplaying as like different versions of Naruto. So I had like the little girl, she was dressed as like Chunin Naruto. I mean Geni Naruto. And mom, she was just like time skip Naruto, and dad was Hokage Naruto. Aww. And like mom stopped at the table and she was like, "Look, she looks just like you." And she was pointing at one of the Sylvia stickers, and like they just bought up the whole table, and it kind of reignited my fire. And it was like, remember, like this is one of the reasons that you started this shit, for representation, to give kids characters that look like them, and that was a moment that's gonna stick with me, no matter how big we get, no matter how far along we are, like that was a moment right there that was like, okay, like it's reaching the audience that it's supposed to, it's inspiring the people that it's supposed to, it's touching the youth, and like Asuma Sensei says, protect the king, and it's doing just that. And that was the moment right there that like I was tired, but I'm like, it's worth it. Like we can get back into this.
Yeah, that almost made me tear up, dude. Like that's amazing. Like I've told you guys a million times, and I'll be a broken record until the day I die. Like your story is so inspirational to me. I've been watching anime for half my life, and there are no characters like us. So for you guys to be on the frontier of doing this, it really, really means a lot. So thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Thank you for having us and give us the platform.
Yes, definitely there.
Ken, you want to go first?
Oh yeah, I go because that same convention. This is it's not as inspirational. It's more funny. So that same convention that
Anime NYC.
No, the next one. I think it was Frontier.
Okay.
Anime Frontier.
Yeah, Anime Frontier. So I didn't get a chance to make that one. But the I think a day or two afterwards, I'm walking. I stay in an apartment complex. I'm walking down my apartment complex. I got a God Punch hoodie on, and my neighbor. I don't like this neighbor at all. Like I have my dog piss in front of his door. I don't like his. Yeah, he's been like noise complaints and stuff like that. I don't like him at all. But he came up to me. He's like, "Hey, God Punch. I just came from Anime Frontier. I bought 3 of your books, man. The story's amazing. Like I really, how you know about that?" I was like, yeah, my cousin writes there. Like I'm part of Studio Maho. God Punch. You go to the website, you see my name right there. What? Oh, I can't believe it. Oh man, And he wanted me to sign the book. That I was like, in my head, I was like, I don't like you. Why did you want me to sign the book? But thank you, man. And he went on with the same script, like, I see Percy, I see your characters, that are like me, that look like me, and it's just amazing. Like I was going around different booths and stuff, and when I saw that one, it like really hit me and connected to me, and that's what when you hear stuff like that about your story and what you putting out there, and now that we're about to do animation, put that out there where people can watch it, not listen or just look in and read it, the manga, but when they can actually watch it and hear Percy's story, see Percy's story, and see that there are Black stories out there, diverse stories, diverse characters out there that has a voice that you can hear yourself. So when you hear that type of stuff, at Dreamcon, the second one, Cleo Thomas came to the table, and he brought his younger sister with him, and it's Cleo Thomas. He comes up to like, yeah, man, God Punch, I heard that before, I seen it before, I read it. I was like, whoa, for real? Like, okay, I guess we got a little noise, and so his younger sister is an artist, and she shows like some amazing artwork. You remember the artwork that she put out? It was pretty good. Like I almost hired her, right then and there. She'd have let me, but and like she looking at the art and stuff and seeing Black characters, all type of faces and stuff, and seeing it, and just that type of experience when people come and hey, you can cosplay as this person. Like that's one of the biggest things that I love seeing. Like, hey, I can cosplay as this person. I got the braids, I got the fro. I look just like this person. It'll be easy. And with the whole backlash of like Black cosplayers and stuff, like not you should only cosplay as Black characters, but like if we had more Black characters out there, that would be a positive thing to see, and that's the goal. So I love when they come by to the table like, oh yeah, I can cosplay as her. I got the look. I got this jacket. And Duke loves to say like, well, next time I need you to be Sylvia. Next time I need you to be me. And yeah, we do it. And I'm still waiting on seeing some. But that whenever somebody comes up to our table as Dr. Sylvia, I will probably lose.
Y'all probably gonna cry.
It.
Probably.
Yeah.
We've had one person cosplay as Sylvia, and that was the lady from Anime T, and she posted it on Instagram. That was like when we first started, though.
Yeah,
that was probably in 2019.
She wore a suit, right?
She had the jacket on.
Oh, she had the jacket. Oh,
she had a black jacket. So I have to look at it. It might be under the hashtags on Instagram, and we might be able to find it.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing that, and I was like, yeah, man, like that's the first time somebody's ever cosplayed anything that I've drawn. Like, it's so cool, So that was cool. But to go off of the Dreamcon experience, I have two things. So one was I ran into Berlizzi by accident. That man has like a crowd behind him at the con everywhere he was walking, so it was hard to like get him to just stop and be like, hey, what's up, man? Like for 5 seconds, like he was always on the move. So we caught him by accident because he was talking to somebody else in the press room hall, which is, disconnected from the rest of the con. So there's like nobody walking back there. And we ran into him, and I just was like, hey man, you remember, I told you I'm from Studio Maho. I told you to come by our table, like on your stream, like it's probably like 3 weeks ago, like he has like 8,000 plus people on the stream. I did not expect him to actually remember.
Oh, that's dope.
That I said that. I mean, I did the little like he read it on stream out loud, but I didn't actually think that he would remember amongst all those people that were watching. So yeah, that was cool. And I think Daphne said she got him a book.
She got him a book.
While I was not there, I think I was probably in an interview with him.
Mm-hmm.
But so that was cool. And I was like, okay, so like somebody remembered 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good experience. So and then the second thing that I had that was really cool, and I told Patrick this. I had a guy come to our table, I think on Friday and bought a Blade Titans book. And the next day, he had read it overnight and he came back to the table talking about where is chapter 2. And I was like, I mean, it's coming. I just,
yeah, hey, you know, stay tuned. I have like 8 other more series, but stay tuned for chapter 2, maybe chapter 3, like a year from now.
I told her, I was like, it's coming, man. Like sometime, you know, within the next few months, I'm gonna try and crank it out. But that was just like a cool experience that he like bought it one day, went home, read it, came back the next day and was like, hey man, where's chapter 2?
I ain't got none of them chapter 2s at your table.
I need some.
You gotta wait, old boy. It coming though, you know.
They're like,
especially with the way that the first chapter ends, it's like it's just when it's like we're getting into the shit like this.
We love leaving.
Like let's go. Like
that is one of the series that gives like. There's a few series I will say that gives a good cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
Example in anime, The Promised Neverland first episode. It's like, yo, that's a jaw dropping.
Mm-hmm.
Blade Titans, jaw dropping. Like, wait, what? You're just gonna end it like that? Yeah, like just it's just blue balls on. So like,
we talking about cosplays, but when you gonna release some figures for me, my brother?
Hey, look,
you go ahead and slide in and give me that official Studio Maho X Gunpla collab is what I'm looking for.
Hey, yo,
I'm trying to get that master grade.
We actually been looking at Funkos, trying to get a Funko made. Since we released Mago, our mascot, Studio Maho mascot, we've got some requests for some plushies too.
Yes, please. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's something. When we get a little time, you know, we might try and like see, you know, like the company we could work with, maybe contract with, you know, sign some paperwork with, so we could start getting, you know, like. Kind of like, you know, more of that merch out aside from like the clothes and then, you know, keychains, pins and things of that nature. Because I think, you know, Funkos and, you know, those, you know, plushies and things
the
like
snacks, the Maho munchies.
No, Maho munchies. Get some snacks. Maho, be like Proud Snacks, Maho munchies.
Yeah, Maho munchies.
Yeah. But yeah, we have been looking into the Funkos. Right now, you know, one step at a time. We're working. We just formed our clothing department as well, trying to get the clothing line going. You know, Yende formed Punch, and so you know we really want to get that off the ground as well. You know, I know he's spread thin. You know, so we brought some people on that could kind of help him with that. You know, so really he could supervise while they do a lot of the lead work. So yeah, just one thing at a time. Don't worry, we're gonna get to the toys. Don't you worry. We're gonna get to the toys. But you know, we're just trying to take it one step at a time right now.
Yeah,
that really would be legendary, though. Literally, if I could piece together my own Gunpla of.
Get you like a Shane Glue Gunpla, you know what I'm saying? The dragon, yeah. I like that. I like that.
I'm gonna wait.
You're not the first person to ask if we'll ever do you know, like Gundam, like Gunpla, you know, like but for the Titans.
Yeah, for the Titans, that would be cool.
Yeah, we're definitely that is 100% on the radar as far as when we get to that point. And also, the swords, we'll probably have replicas of the swords.
Yeah, we'll definitely want the swords.
So yeah,
they gave me a great idea. We should do keychains for like the different swords that we. Oops, my bad.
Down the line.
Usually it's you.
Hey,
Usually,
no, but it's okay.
Yo, Pat's like, yo, Yen, I got these ideas. Yen's like,
I was like, oh,
all right,
marketing.
cool. Let's write them down, but let's wait. That's like a year process, 2 years process. Let's not start that. We need to do this first, Pat.
We can't get into that anyway because the story has to progress far enough for us to get to the other swords and everything.
Marketing.
So,
hey, it's called foreshadow. You could drop the swords keys, and people be like, whose character is this? You could just put a name and like it just be like, you know, redacted. You could just not have the name of said character. Yeah, you just say foreshadow. Hey,
we could definitely. I would definitely post some teasers here and there, like, you know, and I mean, I want to, you know, that they always do those shirts that have like the they're like the technical designs for the mechs, and they have like the little lines that point off, and they say like what each part is, the specs and stuff. Yeah, I want to have some of those made for the Titans as well. So,
all right, so I had like 3 different questions because we spoke about three different ideas here, so I'm gonna go with the
Okay.
one that came to my head first.
Okay.
Yin, I know last time we spoke, I think a good 5 months ago, you brought up that you had 8 ideas with stories that you was currently writing or notes down with yourself and Pat. Where are you at now? Like 12, 15, or like are you still at 8 to 10? How's that going? And
Let me
part 2 with the question why you look. Since there's a game called The Multiverse, but it's with Warner Brothers. With you having all these ideas, do you think of a game in the future of all your characters in a multiverse type of game itself? Since it is all under Studio Maho as well, what do you think of like having like a game with all your characters fight against each other? Like, have you thought about that far ahead, or?
So we
You know,
have
yeah, we got
we-
hit up on one.
well, yeah. So as far as like, okay, I'll let me start at the beginning of your question, and then
Of course, yeah. Sorry, I
and
just
then- and
said
then
2 parts
go.
question. My
That was a
apologies.
lot. Yeah. So let me start at the beginning. Okay. So as far as how many series I have now, I think it's not counting. Yeah, not counting anything that's out right now. I have 13 other series that are. I put them all in a Word doc like 2 days ago, so that Pat could take a look at them, because some of these were just ones that sometimes I get an idea and I just will sit in my notes app and write it out for however many hours, and then try and come up with a name for it. But I have a couple that don't have names, and then I have 11 that do have names. So I have one called Contained, which I've been working on. That's one of my most recent ones. That's kind of like a do I want to tell you what kind of it's a sci-fi like story, and I was like inspired by you guys ever heard of the Backrooms, like the creepypasta?
Heard of it, but I don't know too much of it.
So basically it's like it's like never-ending office spaces, but no furniture, nothing. It's just I think they said it's supposed to be like 75,000 miles or something like that long is the quote unquote space, the area or whatever.
Yeah.
But I basically I had that idea, and that was like what if people like found a dimension like that, but it's a bunch of dimensions, like there's different floors essentially, but they're not office spaces. They're regular dimensions. Like, they may have their own environment, tundra type things or whatever. And they're like, connected to each other. So there's one series like that I've been writing. I need Pac to look at that one, because I don't know if he looked at it yet.
I gotta look at him.
That one is like quickly becoming one of my favorites to add stuff to. I actually like have almost gotten through the entire plot of the series within like the first. I came up with it like maybe a couple weeks ago. So,
I think,
what were you gonna say?
no, I was gonna say I think the beautiful thing about us like coming up with the animation studio and having like these different departments is like now what I'm saying, like if we come up with an idea, like okay, well we don't necessarily have to just do a manga for it. Like all right,
We
cool.
can go
We got
straight to animation.
We got a writing team. Like, hey, this the premise, this the plot, this what we need to happen. Make some magic. We're gonna take a look at it. And once we approve it, send that on the animation. Let's get that thing cracking. While we
Right.
could still work on doing the manga for the series that we want to do manga for. So that's the beauty of us just being able to kind of have a well-oiled machine that's getting even stronger. Like, all right, cool. We got these great ideas. Well, all right, we ain't got to spend all this time, working on one series and then 3 series and then 4. This is what we want. Writing team, we trust y'all. We're going to supervise it, take a look. All right, we might throw a couple ideas out. Cool. Once we're comfortable, animation, let's make some magic happen.
Right. And then we even talked about like we are an animation studio, and like obviously we can make it ourselves, but we wouldn't even mind having some of our ideas being animated by some other studios.
Yeah.
If that was, if we came to that conclusion that, hey, we have a lot of projects on our plate already. What if we gave a couple and outsourced them to some other studios to have made, just to have some more product out there made by us, but not necessarily made by our studio, you know?
Right, yeah. I mean, sell the rights, our names are on it, maybe get some royalties. Our name is out there still regardless as creators, and you know, we still get to see our work come to life. You know, everybody wins in that situation.
Because I feel like I'm the type of person that is always going to have another idea for a series.
Yes, you are. Keep
and
going.
I am not going to be able to draw them all in my lifetime. I don't see it happening. Like,
you ain't got enough hands.
I do not have enough hands or time or sleep. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I don't want to work myself into an early grave trying to get all of these out by myself, you know. Right. Even if I had,
or have your back hurt, you know, like,
or have my back hurt, yeah, or you know, end up with you know, some kind of injury or something because I work myself too much, you know. I already had where I worked on 4 hours of sleep over the course of 3 days to get the first chapter of God Punch out, and I said I'm not ever going to do that again. You know, putting that much.
Well, you about to have these people release the documentary on me, boy.
Well, look, but hey, I did that voluntarily, so you know,
it's gonna be a 30 for 30 about work conditions.
It's cool. Once they get the clone on Yin Day, and then it's gonna be up from there. We're gonna
honestly, you know, if I could,
at one time on 3 different stories.
5 of me, just you know, I'd say, hey, you do this series. You got these couple of series, you know, just put some work in, like, so. Yeah, but I got, like I said, I got 13 series. I got Contained. I got one called The Artifice. It's about like an alternate history where aliens came to Earth in the 1950s and signed a treaty to not destroy Earth. In exchange, they were able to experiment on humans in a fictional country. So I have a series about that. I got one about like kind of like SAO, but it's like a horror VR game where they get trapped in the horror VR game. Got one about aliens. It's kind of based off of a dream I had where Invader Zim was ranked as like a villain in the universe or something like that. But I created my own whole story based off of just that. You guys have seen Hidden Triggers. I posted a little bit of that on Twitter. It's a spy series. I was actually working a little bit on that last night. That one's actually I'm pretty excited about. And I just got a bunch. There's so many now. So. And then Patrick's got some series of his own that he wants to put out there. So like we're just endless ideas are going to be coming. We'll have no shortage of content.
Yeah.
So and then what was the rest of your question? Was
you had a second question because you got 3 of them.
Yeah. What was the other part of that question? I remember you asking how many series I had, and you asked.
You even talked your head off. You done forgot.
It's so much.
I trying to remember, like, fuck. What was part 2? Kendall, James,
I don't know. We done went all over the place. We was talking about
video
games. We was talking about
video games.
Yeah, that was a video
yes.
game. Do you plan to have your series fight each other in a multiverse Smash Bros type of game? Me in the chat and plus Kendall, we all gave ideas of names of what the game could be called. So, like, have you ever thought of, like, with all the ideas that you and Pat have of all these games, of all these type of series that you guys want to make, have you thought maybe in the year 2025, 2030, you guys could, you know, probably release a game to have, you know, our Percy and all these other series fight in a one-on-one, in a brawl? Have you thought far ahead?
I don't think we ever thought about, like, a multiverses type series, like a Smash type series, but I know we did talk about like an actual God Punch game one day, and we actually had like an indie video game creator that, you know, remain anonymous, reach out to us about a project that he was working on, and he wanted permission to use our characters.
We've actually had a couple of people at this point ask that. Like we had that person, and then when I was at Dreamcon, there's a guy that's making a game that's kind of I guess it's kind of like an RPG type game. It's like a mobile game, but he was saying, I don't think I even got a chance to talk to you about this, Pat. That he wanted to see it'd be down the line. It's not ready yet, but he was trying to get with different creators and maybe have their characters feature as like, you know, like not Easter eggs, but like, you know, guest appearances essentially in the game. The characters show up here and there.
So it's kind of like how Attack on Titan went to Call of Duty, I think, or something like. or kind of like how Fortnite has Naruto and other characters.
Yeah,
there.
something like that.
Kind of, but it would actually like make sense in the story. It wouldn't just be like DLC where you get a skin of this character. It would be like the character is in the story somehow, So that was his idea, and then I think we had a talk with you remember Nathan, Pat, yeah, and he had something that was like a mobile game, but it's like a card game that he was trying to put together.
I remember the card game.
And he wanted some of our characters in that.
Yeah. We had a couple of people. Yende brought it up. We had a couple of people reach out to us, but I mean, those are long-term goals. We're just trying to really work on getting even more established. Yes, sir.
And we have some connections as far as like indie game people. If we wanted to have a game made, it's just we need the story to progress more so we can.
We don't want to put the cart before the horse.
Yeah, like there's so many characters that would need to be introduced first before we even had a game. But that is down the line. Like we do have some ideas as far as making that happen.
So I've got a question.
Go ahead, Kendall.
In the 75 stories that exist in Allende's head that he's working on, are any of these worlds overlapping between either your own series, Allende, or both you and Pat? Have you guys ever talked about, or are you already scheming on something where you guys have different stories, but their worlds or their universes overlap or will meet at some point? Has that ever been something that you guys have had a discussion about? Just curious, based off of the conversation that we're having right now.
We've talked about it before. We were definitely trying to talk about like how we could fit God Punch into like another one of Allende's universes. I mean, of course, the challenge is to just do it while it makes sense from a writing perspective. But yeah, we definitely told the idea because I mean, Allende's big thing is he wants like his own universe, like Marvel or DC where everything is connected. So since we have formed Maho, then like that's kind of like the goal to see like, okay, how can we fit this into like a different universe where it all makes sense, where all of this is happening at the same time. My idea honestly was a multiverse. I think it might be kind of like a cheap way out, but it's a way that we could do it and it would make sense. But that was kind of my idea for kind of having all these events happen in like different universes. And that way, like if we did decide to do a crossover, like, okay, like it makes sense because all of these events can happen at the same time because, they're not really connected, but they're in the same universe.
Yeah. So like, for like any series like a God Punch and then like, for example, a Blade Titans or something like that, like obviously it does not make any sense for those series to be connected. They take place in different timelines and all that kind of stuff. So those wouldn't work possibly, but what Pat said, like, a multiverse where, maybe the timeline is further ahead in this universe, or, at this point in time, or, there's different ways to do it. There's a lot of, it's whatever the writer wants to be able to make it to happen, So we could definitely do it, some kind of crossover series, and we definitely have have had some conversations about doing that in the future. And then I do personally have some series that cross over with each other. Like I think Black Lotus, Explosion Joe, and The Final Rewind are all in the same universe. And then I have Calamity Zero, which is like an alternate version of that universe where like something happens that wasn't supposed to happen until maybe like 50 years later down the line, So
I was sold on Calamity Zero before you even explained it. You said Calamity
like
Zero, and I was like, I want to read it. I already want to read it right now. Just go ahead.
I am the person that comes up with some dope names. Patrick will attest to. I have good naming.
Does the one thing I've always been bad at. I'm great with ideas, but I'm horrible with titles. I don't know why, but titles in anything, podcasts, ideas for names, group projects, school projects. I literally have always told like, do not ask me for title of the group name. No. I'm good with ideas, what to do. I'm good, for sharpshooter stuff. Like, all right, guys, let's do this. But the extra titles, I would literally overthink it. I would literally come up with a bad one. I would literally come up with a good one, and then you guys will fix it. Like it's always been like that. Even James and Kendall could say with titles on the podcast, I'll be like, I have this idea. Can you help me with this? So I totally understand. I'm a bit jealous on that because I've been bad with titles. So whenever you come up with a new title on the timeline, I'm like, that's a banger. That's a
That's
banger.
hard.
He never misses.
So-
Damn.
Okay, so I'll read off some what titles I have real quick. So I told you I got Contained. I have The Artifice. Red Crown is the horror VR. The infamous Dr. Maru is the villain series. It's about villains, but aliens and stuff. Hidden Triggers is the spy series. To explain that title a little bit within 5 seconds. So the agents of the White Fox organization, the White Fox organization is who the spies work for. They are known as triggers. They're not called agents, they're called triggers. And when they're inactive or in deep cover, they're called hidden triggers. And when they're activated, they're called pulled triggers. So like a gun. So and then Player 9 is just some other series that I don't have much on. I got Calamity Zero, the Final Rewind, which is a time travel series. Black Lotus. Everybody has heard of the Misadventures of Bill T. DeFront, built different.
Yes.
Explosion Joe, and then I have 2 series that don't have names, but one is a cyberpunk Monster Hunter series, and one is a fantasy supernatural series about a kid that dies, but and because his life was so bad, an angel gives him a token to come back to life, but he has to keep that token on his person at all times, and he loses the token and gets chased by death. So
not one of those titles were bad. All of those titles were a banger.
Hey, and then Pat got God Punch. God Punch is a dope title. So clearly, we just got good titles all the way around. Blade Titans.
Blade Titans. Then I got the one that my Delinquent series. I've been trying to get put together. Baby Gangster.
Yep.
So yeah, I think those went on to. Then I know Ken texted me about an idea the other day.
Right. Yeah.
And that was funny. Ken, you want to talk about that?
You were just talking about bragging on yourself, King. Let's go. Let's hear it, bro. Let's go.
Okay, so imagine
this. Campachi.
Imagine this. So this is I don't have a banger name for it. So, but as a working title right now, Supermarket. So imagine a Walmart or Target of sorts for superheroes and villains, where they're run and worked by superheroes and villains and humans. So, and it'll be more of, a comedy where basically the main character is a college kid trying to work his way to college to work on gadgets and stuff for the superheroes and villains at the store that they sell. So just, imagine you're a cashier coming up and the Joker comes up to you and be like, hey, I want to buy some
laughing gas on.
Yeah. I want to buy is this one organic?
Yeah.
What you need that for? Oh, just I'm trying to be more eco-friendly when I'm in my villainy. I'm like, but you gonna kill people with these? So still save the environment. You go green.
All 6.
A retired superhero. He's always at the gate at the green door at the green door talking about the golden age of comics. Superman and Captain America, they can't do no wrong to him, and just stopping you while you going out and shopping. Like back in my day, superhero wasn't about the money and the fame, and you wouldn't see 1,000 superheroes pulling up to your to your police stations. And we got that story. We're gonna flesh out some ideas coming up soon.
We had one that we thought of a while ago, and it was like a vampire werewolf series. And I know you got 1,000 of those, but I mean, I had a bunch of women tell me no, do it. And I'm like, women love vampire werewolves, so all right, well, yeah, women love vampires and werewolves. You can never.
They like supernatural stuff in general.
They like supernatural stuff, but
Yeah.
so that was one of the original ideas we came up with around the time it's God Punch, honestly. But we just decided to pursue God Punch first because the name was just
that was a war between vampires and the vampires and the werewolves.
Yeah,
I remember that one.
If you do want to check out a good show with wolves aspect and good lore, do check out Teen Wolf. Jeff Davis. Mm-hmm. Jeff Davis is a creator, and he has done some interesting stuff with the lore. of the supernatural world of wolves, alpha, the betas, omegas, and like with the creatures that they have brought out. Like there's some scenes and some scores that have actually creeped me out. And when it comes to those things, when it's not horror, I get creeped out. But when it comes to supernatural, I could handle it. But I gotta give props is to the creator Jeff Davis. He has done such a fantastic job with the show, and I'm like, I had low expectation for the show, but watching over the years and seeing how it's grown, that's why I also feel like if you want to see some good wolf lore or any type of supernatural lore that's really good, just check out Teen Wolf. But don't judge about the name, or don't judge it because it rebooted from 20 years ago. Whatever, it is really good for what it was and is.
Yeah, and the movie dropping soon.
Yeah, no, I'm excited because I saw that trailer and I'm like, hold the fuck up, what? So I was like, for anybody that has seen Teen Wolf and knows what I mean, I have questions. I cannot wait for the movie to drop because I'm like, yeah, I need to explain this. But
it's a very solid series. I'm not even adding more words. It is a very solid series, grounded in a lot of research. You could tell there was a lot of not just like personal effort, but just like someone that really cares about like digging into that stuff. Like he definitely did a lot of research about the lore and just like the actual stories and the locations, even some of the names in reference.
The names, yes. So. And plus the special effects and the hair and makeup are fantastic. I also want to give a credit to that as well because they look creepy as hell. I forgot. I think it was the doctors. They were the most creepiest.
Oh yeah, them things right there.
Yo,
and they didn't play.
Stuff of nightmares, boy.
Yo, they just be walking mad slow as fuck. I'm like, is this like some type of Scream? Like those villains literally walk and literally somehow just be bad as hell. I'm like, hey, it just gives props to the production, creator, and overall. So, Pat, if you ever do some, I can't wait to do what you hear and plan now with a vampire and wolf lore because
yes, sir.
Like you said, it's been done. It's one of the oldest lore in storytelling, but there's always like a new way to expand it. Exactly.
Yeah, you never have enough.
Yeah, I'm actually working on my own type of like werewolf, like vampire story because I also love that supernatural world, and it's like I don't think anyone has like really like taken advantage of like really cool like vampire rules and werewolf rules. Like there's always like a couple dumb things or something where it's just like, oh, this is a really cool concept, but they didn't really like capitalize on it. So it's like I want to make my own story where it's like this is the like ultimate like vampire lore. So like
I don't think I've seen an actual good vampire lore product of movie or show. I don't think I've actually have one. Do you guys have one that you could recommend or say that's good that you could say is actually solid? Because for wolf lore, I'll say Teen Wolf is one of the best one I've seen. But for vampire, I don't think so.
Underworld is the closest for me for vampires.
Underworld got cheesy after a while.
But that's cheesy. Like,
but just the rules.
The rules.
The lore itself is cool.
Lore.
The OG Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman, that one was really good.
That's the best werewolf design I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Period.
Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman, that was great. Man, honestly,
when it comes to anime,
I was gonna say,
Helsing.
Anime has some good vampire references.
Yeah, that's a whole different story.
Live action is a different story.
If all else fails, man, go back to Blade, Wesley Snipes. If all else fails.
Yeah. I like the interpretation from Case of Vanitas just to talk about something recent that had to do with.
I haven't watched that yet.
I haven't watched it either, so I don't know much about that one.
Yeah, and see, y'all are talking about vampires and werewolves. One of my initial ideas when I came up with the Cyberpunk Monster Hunter mashup series was, I was like, wouldn't it be so cool if there were like we took all these like supernatural and like fantasy creatures, but like placed them in like a cyberpunk setting. And like how would their interactions be with that level of technology, So.
I have a question, and my question is that you said that you have a team of 17 people now, and you have departments. Tell us more about that. Like you have a team of 17, and when me and the team, first met you years ago, it was, like you said earlier, it was only a team of 5 or less. Now you have a team of 17 and you have departments. May you guys expand about that? Like, what do you mean departments? what departments? How did you guys establish that? Like, how did you guys choose the role for people? How did you guys get it, where it's now?
Yeah, so man, we got marketing, we got public relations, man, we got art, we got a writing team, we got animation,
Fine. All right.
we got clothing, man, we even got IT, um, you know, and we also have a East Coast division as well, and we also got like the graphic design team also. And in regards to like how we choose, some of those roles, and when we were first starting, like even Team God Punch, and like Maho, it was while we were progressing and like I guess steadily, getting bigger and bigger, we started to identify like, okay, like what roles do we need help with, or like this is something that we're doing that could really be done by someone else, so we could really focus on the creating part, And so started with us finding someone to do social, take over social media accounts, and that's when we came across Evan, and
Shout out Evan.
Everyone's like, yeah, I'll run your social media accounts. We was like, thank you. And everyone's like, I have a degree in marketing, right? I was like, oh, you a legit marketer? He's like, yeah, I do this for real. And I'm like, well, God damn it, we got a marketing department. Ain't that something? And so from there, you know what I'm saying? It was, once we started establishing these departments, it was like, okay, so I got these departments. So like, let's beef up these departments so we won't put too much on one person. So, all right, cool. We got Evan doing marketing. Well, let's find some more marketers to help him out, because there's many layers to marketing that I'm learning. So, we found 2 more people for the marketing team. As far as writing was concerned, we had Ken, we had Duke, we got Terrence, so we had people, to kind of work on transitioning, the manga to novels, so we can try and pitch that. Then, we had graphic design, we got people, make the flyers, media team, that's what I call them. We got one person in charge for taking pictures at conventions. We got another person responsible for doing videos at conventions, just because, we want to be more visible, and we want, people to actually see our team and see the fun that we're having and just kind of walk with us on the journey. And we got PR, because everybody know me, I be talking. We got PR and
legal.
Yeah, we got legal, somebody to handle, the courtroom battles and take care of legalities for us and make sure that Maho as an entity is protected.
Especially now that we're an official LLC. So
yeah, we're an official LLC now, so we need somebody to take care of that for us. And as far as like putting people in those roles,
the fashion department.
Oh yeah, and fashion,
that's the newest one. Yeah,
that's the newest one. As far as
is that more for the series, or is that more, for the clothing side?
Clothing.
Nice.
Pretty much clothing, just because. We have clothes, right? We have merch, but eventually we want to transition away from Teespring. Like we want to just have an actual.
God Punch do-rags.
and Yin, and how's that on Punch brand? Like
so that like Punch is separate but also connected, right? Like it is a brand that I came up with myself. Like I had it before God Punch was before I was even on Team God Punch. I had a brand called Punch that I was trying to make based off of clothing that I created for my personal series. And now that some characters, even in God Punch, wear Punch clothing. I mean, you've seen Percy in the Punch jacket on that artwork with Mirai. Mirai's jacket is Punch. Like it's an existing brand across different series. So I want to create clothing, like an actual clothing line that's based on that. But you can actually wear it, and then some of the clothing that characters wear specifically, like for example, Mirai's red jacket, that purple jacket that Percy wears. He hasn't worn it yet in the series, but he probably, I'll figure out a way to put it on them in there.
Yeah,
and then like you can those will be like part of collections specific to those series, and you can buy the clothes from those series and actually wear them. So
this man's got a master plan. As far as
I was gonna say, as far as like putting people in those positions, man, it's like I don't know. It really happened organically. It's like I think the only thing is crazy. We were looking for another marketer, right? And it's like, yeah, man, I can't find a marketer. I want to help Evan. And one day, I had a pool party at the house. You know what I'm saying? I invited, my girlfriend, a couple of her friends, some of my friends. Put some meat on the grill, got some bottles, whatever. Just having a good time. One of my friends, she came. I didn't know she was in town, and we were just chit chatting or whatever. And she's been keeping up with the eye punching Maho for the longest. And I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I been looking for a marketer, you know what I'm saying, just to kind of help out. She was like, oh, for real? She was like, Pat, I have a marketing degree, right? And I was like, bro, what? She was like, yes, I'm a marketer.
Wow. That's how the world works.
Yeah, I was like, did I not? Okay. All right, man. I was like, you want to join the team? And she was like, yeah. And like, okay, I got a marketer. And then like another one of my homegirls, like, we had been, trying to think about how to get the fashion thing started. Come to find out, hey, Pat, I'm in fashion school, right? And I'm like, all right, man. All these people around me are doing all these incredible things that I just so happen to need. It's destiny. So it just happened organically, man. It's just beautiful. And I think one of the things that I'm proud of the most is like the East Coast division, because we sent them books, for a little, it was like a little block party in Brooklyn. And
the con that was in June, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna go, but then I got a job last second, so I was like so sad, like, because I wanted to meet them.
Yeah, so like they took some books out there. They had a booth, some posters, and like they held it down, So it's like, damn, like, all right, we got the Maho Grand Fleet now, we holding it down. But yeah, man, everything just kind of happened organically. And as we continue to get bigger, we're going to identify more positions that we need help with to, make the business run more smoothly. But we cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, for now, I think our focus is obviously letting the animation department get their bearings a little bit, and then expanding that to fit whatever our workload is. So based on what they need. Because right now, like we've learned, that's the thing is like building the animation department. We've learned all the different roles that go into like a single animation project. And while it is like in the beginning, it is good to find people that can do different roles within the process. Like you've got the people that do the animatics, you got the people that do the coloring, the people that do the cleanup, you got your in-between animators, so like a lot of people, when you hire freelance, they're able to do like pretty much everything, right? But when we start to get jobs that will require us to be doing, more longer projects, we're going to need more hands that can handle specific jobs, so we're not wearing out the couple of people that we have on staff. So
with that, following up what you guys said, that your team of 17 in departments, do you guys speak to all of them on a weekly basis? Because you guys said that you guys have meetings. Do you guys speak to them? Do you guys communicate? Do you guys have board meetings? Do you guys schedule stuff? So like what I'm asking, like how do you guys communicate to the team of you guys building something with all the same vision, but with all you guys moving forward?
We have a we have a group chat on Twitter, and then we have a Discord as well that we built. Shout out to Noah for building that Discord.
Yep.
We
and
also
CJ is our admin.
Yeah, CJ's our admin. That's our IT guy. But we also have monthly Maho meetings. We just had our August meeting Monday. Yeah, we
Monday.
First Monday of every month. So we just had our monthly August meeting. So we talked then. We meet. Huh?
So we have department meetings.
Oh yeah, I was gonna get there. Yeah. So animation department meets bi-weekly every other Wednesday. Writing team meets bi-weekly every other Thursday. Allende and myself, we talk just about every day. We all talk pretty much every day. The beauty of this is like.
His connection cut out again.
I'm telling you, that Houston Wi-Fi.
Man, that's crazy.
Wow. I don't know who.
We had a long stint where it didn't do anything. So it was...
Hey, I'm proud that it lasted at least a good hour without getting cut off. But it's good to know that at least somebody has it worse than Kendall, because I'm happy Kendall hasn't cut off at all throughout the stream.
You just probably jinxed it.
Maybe I just did while saying. I think about maybe I should have not said it. Maybe I should just stay quiet as well.
I wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, oh man, that's crazy.
Kendall, you should have pretended to freeze up like
I should have.
Just freeze up on FaceTime. Just be like,
yo, those be the most funniest video where you're frozen but your fan's still moving. You'd be like, sir, I still see you. Your fan hasn't frozen up.
You can tell you're not actually frozen.
The Zoom meetings in the office, it'd be funny. But yeah, or what do you guys want to continue until we get Pat back?
Yeah, so like I said, we have bi-weekly meetings for the writing team on Thursdays. They have the bi-weekly meeting teams on Wednesdays for the animation department. Every first Monday of the month, that's when we do a department meeting. The whole Studio Maho, everybody gets together, and we just go about it's to help communicate. You need to stay on one accord, and we just go down, give updates. If one department needs, like last meeting, the writing department started writing what Allende was talking about earlier for the projects, and so we handed it off to the animation part, and they had their meeting. So it's just a well-oiled machine that works together. And then, like you said, for us communicate, we talk every day. It's like a big family. We always, Twitter group chat, cutting up, talking about anime, talking about life, talking about different projects and stuff. And it keeps a family feel. Even though we're getting bigger and bigger, it still keep the inclusive family feel. Where we just all, like I said, we talk probably all day, every day.
Yeah.
With each other.
Yeah. I think that was what I was talking about earlier, with like establishing a work culture. All those work well together because we're all friends with each other, and we all believe in the same thing, and we all have the same mission, even though everyone is probably trying to accomplish something different out of it. And I think that's the beauty of Maho. That's what kind of makes us magical, is that we might bump heads here and there, but what family doesn't? But at the end of the day, like, we're all on the same side. And that's just kind of the culture that we established, where it's like, man, we got your back. It's Maho against the world.
Yes, sir.
That's well said. That's very beautiful. James, Kenny, you guys have any questions?
No, I didn't have any more, actually. Not at the moment.
No, I'm hype. As far as questions, I guess to kind of round things out with everything is, for what you can or what you feel comfortable sharing, is there a next big goal for you as we get towards like wrapping up the year? Obviously, there's plenty steps and goals along the way, but is there a goal specifically for ending out this year? Because again, we literally talking about 5 to 6 months ago. Where you are right now, hey, shout out to GB. Where you are right now, is such a big difference. You know what I mean? Like we talk about like, okay, yeah, you transition to Studio Maho now. It's been a year, but like even just where you were at the top of the year to the middle of the year is such a big difference. So I'm really curious about what is there? Is there anything in sight for the end of the year?
God Punch Chapter 4 for October, right in your
Honestly, probably before that. That's like we'll say for sure within the next couple months, within the next like 2 months.
Yeah.
God Punch Chapter 4.
Yeah. Let's ballpark it, but yeah, we expect it to be out before October. The official God Punch short, we're looking at trying to get that released by November.
Yeah, the animation. Yep.
Yeah, the animation, like some actual God Punch animation, we're looking to get that released around November, probably around Thanksgiving. Us going to AWA, maybe returning to New York. I'm not sure. We're waiting to hear Anime NYC about the booth that we applied for. Probably wrapping things up at Anime Frontier. That's kind of like, that's usually our last con of the year that we hit, and that's in Fort Worth. But yeah, man, if I was to think of a way to like end the year, definitely dropping, about 2 to 3 more chapters of God Punch and that God Punch short. When we get closer to that volume and, we can really start getting more attention for the series and for Maho, as a unit, for what we can do on the animation front for people.
Yeah, you're gonna see some big things from the animation department very soon. Like as soon as that teaser drops,
yeah,
it's gonna be like this.
Yeah,
it was a nice steady climb up until that point. Then
Hey,
straight up.
just let me know when I could go ahead and put my money into the stocks. I just, I want to be one of the first investors. Just let me know.
Same. We got the Kickstarter coming soon.
Yeah, we're gonna announce that.
Yeah,
within the next 2 months, right?
Yeah. I gotta give the animation department their flowers though. They are becoming the backbone of Studio Maho, which is what I wanted since we transitioned into a studio. But man, there's no better feeling than, having a dream and people actually being serious about it, because they reached out to us and they was like, Pat, we want to take this animation course to help improve our skills. I'm like, all right, cool, well, we'll pay for it. So, me and Ken, me and they do, Maho, we paid for the class. Then they had another class that's like, Pat, it's part 2. Can we do this one? All right, cool, we'll get the money together for it. Then it's like, Pat, it's an action animation course, like this one gonna be really dope to help with the fight scenes that we got. All right, cool. We'll get the money for that one, So the fact that like they're really investing time and money and energy into this, it shows how serious they are. Shows how serious they are about their craft, but also doing the work of Maho. And those are the type of people, man, you just want to take care of, man. So I really got to give Maho in general, but, the animation department as well, their flowers, and just, thank them for all their hard work. We couldn't be here without them.
That's dope. That's great. Like to give the flowers due to people and to the people that's been behind you. But also, Pat, I had a question for you. I remember a couple months ago, you said it on the timeline, how you wanted to know how to brand yourself, but also brand yourself with Studio Maho. Like, know how to brand yourself as Pat, but also, part of Studio Maho. Since then, have you found out, or have you been trying to still understand or figure out how to do both, or how to market yourself better?
Yeah. I actually had a long meeting with my marketing team about that. And so now their mission is to not only help branding for Maho, but to help me with my individual branding as well as one of the faces of Maho. So still trying to work on, my own branding, and like, I know who I am as a person and as a man, but, making people understand that. But, just kind of, making content, putting it on camera, and actually being consistent is a challenge, while still trying to balance, the task of, manning Maho. But I do have an idea of what I need to do and how to, consistently brand myself and put myself out there. But I'm not rushing it. It's kind of, I'm not gonna say it's at the back of my mind, but like I'm prioritizing Maho as well being first. But when I get a little chance, I'll do something.
Said we was gonna start whatchamacallit, streaming.
Yeah. We said we're gonna start streaming. We got Maho Gaming soon.
Yep. Studio Maho Gaming SMG.
Yeah, Studio Maho SMG. So we got SMG Gaming. Got the Twitch channel coming. So yeah.
But we're gonna do a Pokemon series. So I need y'all to bring out Pokemon.
What was that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm paying attention. I was looking at the chat and then I heard Pokemon. I don't know what's going on anymore. What was that?
You said, do we battle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Pat almost won a semi-professional tournament not too long ago.
We were the runner-ups.
we don't play around with the Pokemon.
Yeah.
If y'all can, we'll get on stream. If y'all can beat us, that's a
yeah.
I'm gonna have to go put a team.
Yeah,
that's dope. That's dope that you're gonna start gaming like on Twitch and everything, because that's a great type of additional avenue to make money, but also to market yourself and also to show more of your face and more of the personalities out there.
Yeah, at this point, it's like as my marketing team told me, it's like like it's important for like people to know like who you are as far as your personality. There's only so much that I could show just by being goofy on Twitter and typing out jokes. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the task of like getting in front of the camera even more and just kind of showing my personality. And so I think us streaming gaming is going to be a great way to do that. Because I know God of War is about to drop. We got 2 different Pokemon games about to drop. We got Multiverses that just dropped.
How did you think of the Pokemon review today? Like, were you excited for that, or you care for it?
I did not see it, but I mean, it's Pokemon, so I'm gonna blindly support it.
I think it's.
I am a sheep,
and I'm gonna stand behind them, bro. I'm gonna stand behind them.
I gotta give them props, because I did not expect with what they did with the legendary. That's an interesting twist what they did, that you could climb, drive it as a bike, and also I think fly with it as well and swim. And I'm like, that's some dope stuff.
There was already leaks about that. I don't care about anything until the trailer that's right before the drop date. And you know what's crazy? I just realized we get new Pokemon and we get Black Panther in the same month. So let's go. Let's go.
It's gonna be a great month. Yes. November is gonna be great for content, man.
Hell yeah. The end of the year, because also October we're gonna get God Punch 4. So we can't forget about that.
Y'all get some God Punch content when all the good anime is about to drop too.
Yo, Chainsaw Man, Bleach.
We drop with the big
Mob Psycho at 100.
Mob Psycho.
Yeah.
Everything really does. Right.
My Hero.
October is stacked.
Facts.
Yeah.
Blue Lock. There's a bunch of new stuff. I think that the Gundam, isn't the Gundam supposed to drop? The new Gundam supposed to drop in October.
That part,
I think
off
too.
the top of my head.
I don't know if it's the movie first or the series, but we get in both. So
Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff coming. I can't wait. I think during the month of October we might do some Maho streaming for Dead by Daylight. I think that'll be fun.
Oh yeah, bro. And somebody came in my stream the other day asking about Dead by Daylight. Like did I play it, because they were going to go stream it, and I was like, I bought the game like I don't know how long ago, and I have literally never opened it. Like I bought it, it was on sale. I bought it because I have friends that play it.
Yeah.
I must have got busy.
Is it crossplay?
Yeah,
I think so, because the only person I know that have played it, or the only person that gives the word of mouth that I know, is Abe. He's the only person that actually streams on Twitch and everything that I know of.
Yeah, I know a couple people that do that. Shout out to Line Party and them. They've done it.
Yeah. Shout out to Line Party, good people, man. Yeah. They take care of us when we want.
Sir.
But Ken, I did want to ask you a question, because you was hype about Pokemon. What is your starter? What's your favorite starter? I'm curious about that before we go.
My favorite starter is Swampert. My Swampert is named Sonic. That's been my baby since Gen 3. Like that's probably the first Pokemon game that I actually own, and I rock with him. it's my goal to get Swampster, a Mudkip, and have him on my squad every time. I even like do some competitive. I draft him. He's on my team regardless. That's my Pokemon. That's my Pikachu. So
That's his yo.
I ain't gonna hold you. Mudkip top 5 starter Pokemon, and it's
I
not
agree.
a debate.
Mudkip top 5. If you have him, would you trade him? Like anybody? I would love to get a version of Mudkip. I don't got one in my Pokemon catalog, so if anybody got a Mudkip, please, can you send it my way?
Yeah.
For what game?
Yeah, you
what,
shot.
what are you talking about?
The only game I have currently that is I have Sword and Shield.
Oh yeah,
I probably have one in my box somewhere. I didn't try too hard with that.
We might have a couple I can throw away.
Yo, high key, I need to empty out. I need to empty out Oras before they close down Pokebank next year.
I need to do the same thing with my older games.
So what did they closing down a Pokemon? I didn't hear about that.
They're closing it down next year, March, I
next
believe.
year, yeah, next year at the top
like
of the
spring
year.
for sure. I just don't know the exact. So I don't want to give you
everything. All my Pokemon I needed, I transferred to Sword and Shield. So
I didn't. I wasn't really competitive with Sword and Shield, so a lot of my competitive teams are still in Oras or Sun and Moon.
When we competed in the league, it was with Sword and Shield.
There's a question in the chat saying, did any of y'all play Digimon Survive?
Yo, shout out to bro Taiji. I haven't bought it yet. I was letting it sit for a week. I get paid this week, so I've not seen bad reviews. So I'm hoping to play it. I'm hoping to play it. Definitely a big Digimon fan as well. So
same.
I did beta test that Gundam game, and I was not as impressed as I wanted to be. But it might be because I had too high expectations.
You talking about the one that's like Overwatch?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I haven't played it yet, but a lot of people said it was fun.
It's fun. I wanted more from it. I wanted so much more from it is what it was.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, those games will not be good until we're inside the game, like a VR, like some type of yo. That's when you will get my money. If you tell me a whole headset that will get me into the game and I'm a Gundam, a Titan, like a whole part of the actual game, and if the headset costs $600,000, I will pay for it, because you're telling me I can actually be the Black Swordsman character and kick your ass because I have the broken cheat codes because as a beta tester? Fuck yes.
Aren't you trying to be a beater? This man wants to be a beater. That's crazy.
I want to beat these little kids' ass up in these games. I want, hell yeah. I will murk these kids. Like,
I wouldn't enlist in the military. But if I could be a Gundam pilot, I would enlist in the military.
As long as they don't give you a fodder mech.
Yeah, exactly.
Just put me in the
specifically. Suit. Can I get in a Gundam specifically?
Right, specifically, not a mobile suit, a Gundam.
Not a mobile suit, a Gundam.
Like,
not a worker suit.
On the paperwork.
A Gundam, yeah.
Or kaiju works too. Just be like our boy Kaiju number 8. Just be the whole. You are the mecha itself.
No, absolutely not.
Hey. I don't mind giving my body, my soul to a kaiju just to have extra power and just to save, save Japan. That's it. I'm chilling. I'm good. But speaking about good, James, Kendall, have any last thoughts to the team of Studio Maho here for tonight?
Nah, shout out to the chat. Oh, yo, shout out to y'all talking about Studio Maho being there with your studio, but y'all also had a representative hosting a panel as well for Dreamcon, so it was a lot of representation out there. So once again, shout out to y'all, hats off to y'all, flowers to y'all. Also shout out to everybody in the chat. We've been cutting up in the chat. That's why y'all keep seeing me looking down and being distracted.
Yeah, man, it was an honor to have you guys on. Like always, you guys are an inspiration. Like, it's always very intimidating to think about creating your own stories and putting out there. And again, you guys are inspiring. You're putting your own stuff out there. You're making your own studio. You're doing the thing yourself. So keep doing what you're doing. You're inspiring people. You're inspiring me. So I appreciate you guys being here and can't wait to see where Studio Maho goes in the future.
And just like Ken said, I want to add to that. You guys are passionate and you guys are driven. You guys, like Ken said with the metaphor, you guys break down the walls and you guys don't stop, and that's the most beautiful thing, because like I said, I could have given up the past 2 days on on a little small thing, but you trying to give up is very easy. Anybody could give up, but you to actually move forward and continue and not giving up, and being told don't do it, you cannot do it, or saying, or being told by Viz, hey, you gotta fix this, you gotta do this. But then you guys did not let that shake you. Hey, okay, cool, it shake you a bit, but guess what? You guys came back stronger and move forward, and that's what I love to hear from you guys. And I can't wait to have you guys again in 5 months, 3 months, or eventually come back in October where you guys, talk about God Punch 4 and also talk about maybe some seasonal anime. So,
We could do that.
Oh yeah.
We could definitely do that, man. Thank y'all again for having us. It's an
Yes,
honor.
thank you.
It's always a pleasure, and the floor is yours to promote, speak, what you guys want to say, last thoughts, and see where you guys where the good people could find you as well.
And as always, Twitter, Studio Maho, IG official Studio Maho, website www.studiomaho.com. That's MAHO. As for me, you can find me on Twitter, IG, Honorable Gumbo. Thank y'all so much for having us. Thank y'all for supporting us. Thank y'all for believing in us. Thank you for your platform. That's the most important thing, man. Never ask for money. All I ask for is your voice. Everything else gonna fall into place. All I ever wanted was an opportunity to be put in some rooms, and I thank you so much for giving us that chance. So always humble. Will forever come back. Will forever do anything I can to help y'all in any way we possibly can. So thank you so much.
And you can find me at Kokujin Creates on Instagram, KOKUJIN Creates, but with a K. That's Instagram, and then Twitter is yin_designs. And we got big things coming. You guys haven't seen nothing yet, honestly. The stuff we can't even talk about that we might get into a little bit off camera, but it's exciting times for Studio Maho. This is only the beginning. So,
Ken, how about you? It's a pleasure to have you here as the first time. I hope you enjoyed us, being with us here.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and IG, Matt Cannon, MacKannon. Man, it was a pleasure, man. Hopefully you have me back on here. Love your platform, your voice out here. Keep spreading the word. Keep, doing y'all thing. And we're going to keep doing ours. Like I said, official Studio Maho on IG, Studio Maho on Twitter. And just keep on looking for big things to come. I know y'all got big things to come too, so let's get it.
James, Kendall, give us your plugs as well so we can head out and talk about people not knowing stuff that they cannot know about.
Yeah, you guys can follow me all over social media at JB Exclusive. You want to find all of my content, go to carefulforspoilers.com. We just wrote an article talking about the top 10 best so bad they're good movies. So check that out. Let me know what you guys think. Chris Conkling is releasing a new article on Friday breaking down everything that happened in the MCU Phase 4. Like I mentioned in the beginning, on Villains on 8 o'clock Friday night, we'll be talking about all of the Warner Discovery news, all of the news that came out about DC and Marvel this coming week. So it's going to be a fun time on this Friday show. Check us out over there.
Yo, it's your boy Kenny, the other Ken on the stream. You can follow me at Kendall X Anime, or actually I need to stop doing that. Y'all can follow me at Kendall Grant VA on Twitter. My link 3 should be in the bio, and if it's not, I'm gonna fix that right now while I'm talking about it. But yeah, you can follow me there everywhere. I stream on Tuesdays on my bro Blackheart's channel. We cover TFT. I'm actually gonna be adding some more stuff. And since people say they're gonna be doing some Pokemon streams, I might have to get up on there and do some training and grinding so I could prepare myself.
If you ever want to battle, holla at me.
I got you. But yeah, we like I said, also follow the Conquer movement. We got that Zeno Roberts interview. Like I said, I'm keep telling everybody. I'm gonna keep saying it until I see like 10,000 views on it. I just need everybody to watch that video because it really is a conversation that everybody needs to hear. And then we've got more videos in the works. We got more interviews. There's a lot of interviews. We went from Sunday having like one interview on Dreamcon to like I said, we pulled a Yinde into a room. We ended up turning around. That's how we ended up bumping into Zeno like right after doing a Yinde them. So shout out to everybody that gave us a chance to hear and be a part of their story and their journey. So thank y'all so much for that.
With that being said, guys, I am your host, Legendary Vash, and I appreciate for everyone watching and listening to wherever you did. YouTube, the podcast feed. I appreciate for everyone liking, subscribing, commenting to the live stream or to the VOD. And also a big shout out to our boy Steve. He just put out his cover art for his manga as well. And also to our boy LSF as well to also be relaunching Shade of Red. Life gets in the way, but I'm happy that you're back on your feet and you're relaunching Shade of Red. And Steve, we can't wait to have you on and hear more about your series Payback. So continue on, make these series, and move forward. Like these guys said, break down these walls and make your content. And we appreciate you guys, everyone, being here and listening. And we see you guys next week on the next one.